What's going on, guys? This is Ryan with the RK Outpost, and we are witnessing the self-destruction of G4 for the second time. The first time that they failed after they were taken off the air, it was a result of a slow and steady decline in viewership that stemmed from not listening to their audience, not giving their audience what they wanted, and not being in touch with them. A lot of people thought when they made this comeback, when they decided, hey guys, we're bringing some of the people back together, we're gonna do a YouTube channel, G4TV is back, baby. A lot of people were optimistic and said maybe they've learned from some of their mistakes. That is obviously not the case because so many people that are there, whether it's Frosk, who went on this insane meltdown, whether it's Adam Sessler, who has been freaking out on Twitter about anyone who disagrees with him politically, or whether it's even Kevin Pereira, who took shots at people in the chat who had legitimate criticism for G4. All they're doing is running and hiding from any and all criticism because once again, they don't understand their audience. You could see what they did to censor the chat. We've talked about this a lot. It's not like I was saying mean things. Literally all I was doing was saying hi to someone else in the chat, and I said thanks to someone else in the chat. But they deleted anybody who they thought might not align with their opinion. Just banned them straight out because that's who G4 is. Well, they have made it significantly worse last night because, again, they don't care what their audience thinks. That is very clear. This insane rant that we have from Frosk, obviously overwhelmingly unpopular, 17,000 dislikes, when she decided to blame any and all criticism that she gets, and it's a decent amount, especially lately, we'll talk about that in a second, she decides to blame it on sexism, sexist gamers, because that's the type of person that Frosk is. We have seen this over and over again. It is always something. It's always, oh, well, there's not enough, there's too many white people here. Oh, there's not enough women here. Everybody that doesn't like me, it must just be because I'm a woman or you don't want to fuck me. That's legitimately the takes that she's having, the excuses that she's trying to make. But look what G4 did yesterday on their subreddit. Restricted sub until further notice. Hey G4 community, it's been a long couple days. Thank you to those who have continued to stay civil in discussion, but the type of communication from both sides is making it impossible for the overwhelming majority of people to have civil discussions. G4 is a place for people to come together to talk about all the things they love and are excited about, and we'd like to keep it that way. For the sake of everyone involved, we're going to be restricting posting and commenting on this sub until further notice. We will keep you updated when we're reopened to the public. So as your audience clearly has a problem with what you're doing, we've seen video after video get ratioed. We've seen people in the comments saying this is absolutely messed up what you're doing. What does G4 decide to do? Take away their audiences and their community's ability to comment on anything. And it makes a lot of sense because when you do go into some of these subreddit or some of these threads on the subreddit, why are people hating on the lady hosts, especially Frosk? You see 109 upvotes, 404 comments because a lot of people were trying to tell this person why this is all happening. And they are trying frantically to ban anyone and everyone who has any form of criticism for G4 or for the host. That's just the bottom line. And you even have Frosk herself come in here and answer. I'm going to read a little bit about this because I think it just goes to her mindset and why this is not something that's new for her. This is something that's been a continued thing. But real quick, why are people hating on the lady host, especially Frosk? Again, the mods come in. A lot of folks having a real hard time not being disrespectful, bigoted, or insulting towards G4 hosts and other Redditors with their posts. So here's a reminder, you can't insult or degrade a group of people. You must be civil. No politics involves political topics. You should tell that to your hosts, shouldn't you, when you look at what Adam Sessler has been posting? But we all know this is a joke. It's just about people that go against their narrative. That's who they're banning right now. And anyone who has legitimate criticisms of Frosk ends up getting banned. Now, she did come in here. Indiana Black is Frosk. Apparently, it blew up how I'm spreading misinformation because I've made mistakes when talking about game releases. Sorry for not always getting it right. I work a lot of shows and game news isn't my strength or passion. Playing games and reviewing them is. But if you inherently think women shouldn't be in your hobby, then making these mistakes become fixations to justify my ineptitude. Once again, taking legitimate criticism directed her way and deflecting it as sexism in gaming. And you can see, like, look at this. Oh, this isn't the one I wanted. That's a different thing I might play a little bit later. Here, we're going back to this. That ratio, 17,000 dislikes. Isn't it interesting? I love this comment. These are some of the mistakes that she's been making as the reason that she got backlash, and then turn around trying to blame it on sexist fans. Firstly, she provides all false points regarding, quote, how PS5 is dead last, talking in terms of sales. Hogwarts Legacy is an Xbox exclusive. BioWare's an Xbox studio. Xbox is smoking Sony. When people called out her BS, she played the gender card instead of taking criticism. Yes, and that's the thing. That's what this all stemmed from, was she had some wrong, bad takes about gaming, and considering she's part of a gaming YouTube channel, people called her out. Was there a couple people in there that probably said this is why women shouldn't be gamers or something? You know what? There probably was an incredibly small, minute percentage of people that actually legitimately had that criticism. But what this person has tried to do has make it all about that. And you can see all the comments. They are getting fucking destroyed. The Act Man is here. The Act Man says, remember when Don Matrick said, if you don't like our shitty Xbox One policies, go play Xbox 360. Remember when DICE told people not to buy Battlefield 5? For some reason, telling people not to buy your product or watch your videos isn't a great business strategy. I'm enjoying the absolute grilling you're getting in the comments. Read your audience and do better for them. The entire comment section is flooded with things just like that. But I did want to read a little bit more of this because this is a pattern, right? This is a pattern for her of blaming anything and everything on social injustice. That's what Frosk is doing here. That's why G4 is protecting her, locking down their comments section and saying, fuck their fans. Also, because I see League of Legends brought up, the Riot LEC management team was incredibly toxic, and I called them out. This is going back to, this is like a year ago, almost exactly a year ago at this time. Former League of Legends LEC, so that's League European Championship, just so everyone knows. Froskrin questions diversity in esports, gets mixed reactions. Barely a week since Frosk stepped down from the LEC broadcast team, the former League of Legends caster highlighted the lack of racial diversity in esports. Again, this was in the European Championship. The lack of diversity in the European Championship. That's what she was getting so upset about. And it only happens to call this out once she has a fallout with the company. Once she's no longer working as a broadcaster for them, then all of a sudden she has a bunch of criticism. And this is what she put out. As always, very excited for LEC to begin and watch my peers continue to thrive. That team's fucking amazing. That said, we really need to talk diversity in esports broadcast because holy shit, that is a lot of white, just blindingly white as far as the eye can see. I love this reaction. It's hilarious. Again, this is almost exactly a year ago. As always, very excited for the NBA to begin and watch my favorite team. That said, we need to talk diversity in the NBA because holy shit, that's a lot of black, just blindingly black as far as the eye can see. She got a lot of pushback for this. And is now continuing to explain those things and bring up those things again in this Reddit thread. She then talks about how she was mistreated. It's because of sexism. She was disparaged. All of these things, continuing to play the victim. Then even goes so far to say, one final note about this thing that happened a year ago. I would have committed self-deletion if I stayed there. I had a full mental breakdown due to the working pressure and treatment from those managers. Once again, trying to play the victim. And if you look further, you go through so many places in this subreddit where people are just trying to have discussions and they get locked down. They get completely locked down. Oh, look, the thread got locked. Not that I'm surprised. Thanks for proving my point. Up next, me being banned from the sub for talking about it. Wouldn't be the first time that it's happened over the past 24 hours. Take a look at all the deleted banned posts and you can tell how abusive the moderation team is. The vast majority of people asking why they're being censored, why they can't discuss like adults. The moderators do not care about the discussion. They want an echo chamber. Thanks for trying to have at least a balanced discussion, but sadly, it doesn't seem like this community wants that. They just want reasons to be offended to justify their preconceived notions. So the mods are continuing to fight and delete every single person in these threads. And what is Frosk doing today? I thought this was interesting. Well, I guess this isn't today. This was yesterday. After she decides to play victim and say how people's words are hurting her and saying that when you say these things, it's not okay to say things like that in the chat when you mention things about me. Then she goes out and pretends like she's taken the higher ground or that she can handle it in some way. My inbox looking like some weak-ass Xbox Live messages these days. Thanks for the engagement on my stuff. Taking these clicks all the way to the bank. That's the attitude you should have had about this entire thing, is you should have ignored it if it really doesn't bother you. It clearly does. You're freaking out because people are calling you out for your lack of game knowledge. And as someone that's a host on a gaming channel, shockingly, a lot of people have a problem with that. But instead, you decided to turn on your audience and call them all sexists if they don't like you, Frosk. And now you're pretending like, oh, it's no big deal. Also, I love this. For someone who's saying that, what people are doing and how they're objectifying women is wrong. Interesting that we have this clip out there, isn't it, Frosk? Isn't it interesting how we have this clip out there? Seems like you were maybe objectifying someone. I don't know. Maybe that's just me thinking that. This man isn't there for you to get off. Your unconscious bias is ruining his day. It continues to get worse as G4 proves they're completely out of touch with their community and their audience, and they're going to continue to try to shut down any and all criticism. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and a huge shout out to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram? Check out the description below. You'll find links to my PO box and my Patreon as well. I'll talk to you guys later.